it's Amanda and Lauren here, and today, I'll just say, I like it when we get to make videos together.
It's fun.
It's fun. But today, we are going to do a meet the teacher, meet the people behind the channel, see who we are kind of thing, because we started this project, I guess we posted our first video, I don't know, August or September of last year, is that right? But we've been talking about this project for a long time.
Yeah.
So anyways, we're kind of new at it, and so if you guys are watching, you're probably new to seeing us, and so we just kind of want to give a quick introduction. Well, it probably won't be quick, we talk a long time. You can put on your headphones on this one probably, and like cook dinner while you're listening to us, put your headphones on in the car, because we're not really going to be showing you anything, so you can, what would you say?
Yeah.
This is headphoneable.
Yes. It is not, we're not showing anything today, like books or anything like that. So just going through a few prompts, I guess, to kind of get to know us better and stuff. So I guess first we'll just introduce ourselves.
Okay.
We've kind of done that to some extent, I think, but I think it would be cool to hear a little bit of our background. So.
All right. Well, my name is Amanda, and I am in my 10th year of homeschooling. My daughter's in the 8th, my oldest is in the 8th grade, I shouldn't just say my daughter. And the reason I count it as my 10th is because I count that preschool year. Yeah. Because I legit did like serious preschool. After I got out of college, I went and I taught at a public school, and I coached basketball at a public school, and I went to public school K-12. So there's just kind of a quick little intro, because I think some of the other stuff about me will come out in our questions we made up. Yeah.
So, okay, I'm Lauren, and I'm the other face behind the channel here. I am in my 11th year. I could probably say 12th if I counted Olivia's like 3-4 years.
Are you serious about that year?
We did do things. Yeah, I had like little busy bags and different things and things like that. But 11 years, we actually did a co-op her preschool year where we were like, because she has a fall birthday, so she turned 5.
Oh, so she's one of those old ones.
Yeah, so we did. So 11 years for us, and I have a 9th grader down to a 1st grader, 5 kids, 4 boys, 1 girl. So we've been homeschooling the whole time, and I'm actually a 2nd generation homeschooler. So I was homeschooled almost my whole education. I went to a Christian school for 1 full school year, and then I went to public school. It's funny, the public school your kids like do sports in and stuff for a semester. I think it was like maybe a semester my mom put us in, so that was it. But pretty much homeschooled. So we come into this with different, you know, backgrounds and things, but
I guess I will add, even though I taught and did all that other stuff, I have homeschooled from kindergarten. I've never put my kids in school like all day, but they do play sports, which I'm sure we'll do a whole video about how to do sports and you know, homeschool at the same time. It doesn't, not this video, y'all are just gonna meet us. We'll talk about that another day.
Okay, so the next one is, well, we talked about how many years we've been homeschooling, a while now, and then what our homeschool styles are.
Okay, you wanna go first?
Sure.
Okay.
Okay. I would call myself eclectic to some extent, and I have told that to many people and stuff, so it's not like but I really like the classical style, and that's definitely the route we were kind of going initially in the beginning, but there are just some aspects from some other, you know, thoughts or educational philosophies that I like. I like Charlotte Mason, some of the things they do, the poetry, the nature study, things like that I've pulled from through the years. And we're definitely probably a little bit traditional in some sense. We make our kids do math and language arts and all the subjects like every day. We think that's important. So I would say classical-ish, Charlotte Mason-ish, but you know, I'm a mix of everything to some
extent. I thought I'd have to say the same thing about me, because like, you know, if somebody finds out I homeschool and they'll ask me like, well, what curriculum do you use? And I'm just like, oh, well, I actually kind of build my own. Like, so kind of like she's saying, like, I like a lot of different styles. So like, I like a lot of the reading and a lot of, you know, just some traditional stuff. And so I guess I'd be the same way. I kind of always have a base, and I just start pulling in from there. But as far as, kind of more like a classical with the literature and all those things. But I would say that my math is always very traditional, and I would even say probably my grammar and language arts are pretty traditional, but like history and science and some of those things, we've done a lot of different things. So I guess I would say I pick new every year.
Yeah, I think for me, my education was traditional even in the homeschool world. So as a homeschool teacher now, I feel very comfortable with a lot of these curriculums that I used and went through to some extent. So I do come back to those a lot of times because of that. So
I just thought of something else kind of funny about me, because I wrote it down on here, just kind of breaking the cycle. So we homeschool, but my husband is actually an administrator at our local public school. So we just do things all kind of weird.
Yeah.
But it's okay. I really like what we got going on. So just kind of random.
Yeah.
We're a good mix of a lot of things.
Okay, so the next one is, what is our favorite subject to teach?
Oh, it's like the same.
Yeah, I was gonna say. We probably are gonna say the same thing. Not exactly though, because I know you like something a little bit different. So, you want to go ahead and share?
Without a doubt, hands down, mine is history and math. I love teaching the math because there's always a right answer. But I love teaching the history because I think it's like really fun, and that's where you can get like read alouds and movies and projects. So history and math.
Okay.
And literature.
Well, mine is definitely history through the years. I have enjoyed, we've done a classical method for history in the sense we've done story of the world, and we've walked through just history chronologically. But we've kind of went to unit studies in some ways the last few years and stopped and, went over time periods more, and our co-op kind of leads to that we do together, where you're like taking whatever you're working on that time period and doing projects and things based on that. But love history. And my second one would probably be language arts. Do not enjoy teaching math. I outsource math sometimes in different grades and different kids I've outsourced it for, but I like language arts. I'm kind of a grammar nerd. I like all of the diagramming and all of those things.
I have a confession. My husband, he is actually an excellent writer, and so I make him grade all of our kids' writing.
Yeah.
We do it all, but it's not my fave.
I would say the grading's not always just because you're busy and things. Yeah. But when I sit down and do it, I like this. I like editing. So
no,
yeah,
because I want because he's a better writer than me. I like that he's able to say, "Hey, what about this?" or pull some more out, because he really is creative in his writing.
Yeah.
So.
Okay, I think the next question was your favorite resources. Is that teacher resources?
I had to think about this for a second. So 3 things that you couldn't do without. The first one came to me just like this: an electric pencil sharpener.
That's funny.
Is that what you wrote down for number 1?
I didn't write it down because I knew you would.
Yes, it is serious business in my house. I have a nice one. My mom got it for me, and we use it all the time.
Yeah.
Because I'm not I have tried all kinds of different things, getting kids their own color pencil, having a pencil bag. None of that works. Just buy a bunch of pencils, and if one breaks or whatever, just get another one and go sharpen it. Not worth making a deal over.
Yeah.
So, in my opinion. What'd you put for one of yours?
One of mine?
Yeah.
Well, I put a library card. We use the library all the time. It has been just a great resource. Through the years, I took my kids when they were little too and stuff, but if we're starting a new unit in history, I'm, reserving books at the library and
we're racing to books at the library to tell the truth.
We use the same branch. So yeah, sometimes we're like, do you have that? But anyway.
It was, Ian Boskamp, who said if you're a mom with a good library card, you can give your kids a good education, and I completely agree with that. I just type in, like she's saying, all the books that we want, and I brought home 3 full bags yesterday. So I like that.
That's a good one. Do you have another one?
Well, I wrote down books, but you probably answered it better with a library card, because I think with good books, which I guess would go along with the classical style, you can still give a good education without a curriculum. Today, my boys sat down and read all these books I got from the library about the war, and they're telling me all kinds of facts.
Yeah.
So, library card. Way to word that professionally.
Another one I had wrote, of course, was YouTube. I get a lot of inspiration from YouTube.
That's what I wrote.
That's so funny. No.
We didn't talk about this before. We just wrote down our questions, and then we were just going to jump in and hang out with you guys.
Well, I've watched YouTube for a while now. And
Yeah.
so it's definitely been when I'm like needing inspiration or just, trying to think about a different curriculum or something else I want to use, I go to YouTube a lot of times.
Oh, well, that's
Yeah.
not how I was envisioning when I wrote that down as my
Okay.
tool.
What would you say?
Every single day we pull up YouTube. Like when we did World War I, we pulled up what life in the trenches has looked like. We probably watched 5 to 10 minutes of YouTube every single day.
Yeah.
Today, in my first grader's words, I think he read a bunch of words that were like strange fish. Like that was his, like, I don't know, I guess the words they read. And I'd never heard of these fish.
Yeah.
So we YouTubed what these fish look like. So I guess I use it every day as a teaching tool. Because with our history and I know another one today. We did, we were talking about like when women could vote, and I referenced Mary Poppins when Mrs. Banks sang the song about voting. And my kids were like, I don't remember that. I pulled that clip up and showed them Miss Banks. So lots of good. Yours is YouTube for like inspiration for doing what you
Planning my homeschool
planning
or
your
doing
homeschool.
things like that.
And mine is just like a teaching tool. So
Yeah,
YouTube,
which we
books,
do too.
and a pencil
Yeah.
sharpener. And yours was, what was your first one?
Library card, YouTube, and then my last
Oh.
one was Good Art Supplies. That has
Oh,
been
that's right.
a big game changer, I would say, in our homeschool, is just having those available for, nature journaling and different things like that. So Good Art Supplies, we like the Arteza brand. We've used that the last few years. So we really enjoy having those around. I think they're, the kids are we're inspired to, write down things, journal things, draw things to go along with that.
Well, I'll say I'm with Lauren. Like, actually, you're the one who got me turned on to Good Art Supplies, and now I have made a great collection of very nice art supplies, and it's worth the investment. I think we put that in one of our tips for new homeschool moms, like just make the investment. So I would agree. So those are some of our favorite tools.
Yeah. All right. So the next question was, what inspires you as a teacher? So I would say the first thing, well, this might be kind of redundant because I just said it, but it was YouTube or blogs. So when I think I said that in the I need inspiration or something like that, I'll go to YouTube. But when my kids were littler, it was blogs, and it still is sometimes. So when I'm looking for encouragement or just kind of in a rut, sometimes I'll just go look for inspiration in those places.
And it's very nice.
Or podcast is another one. I use podcast a lot of times. And then sometimes I just have some favorite people that I'll go to and read their books. Sarah McKenzie, Cindy Rollins, some of those people.
Always encouraging. So I took the question a little bit different, which I agree with how she answered it. Like when things are not going good, well, I would add even just having lunch or coffee with another homeschool mom. I usually always come away very inspired, like because somebody else is doing the same thing as me, having the same struggles as me, and still trekking on. So that's always inspiring.
Yeah.
But I wrote down 2 things. What inspires me as a teacher is getting to see the light bulb go off when they do something, like when they're reading or they get a hard math problem. I don't know, that's always just really fun and inspiring, and like it seems to always happen, like we have a breakthrough when I'm like really needing some inspiration. And another thing that inspires or motivates me as a teacher would be this is a big one, I think about this a lot, the hope for relationships in the future. And so just the sibling togetherness, like the family togetherness, and like as we're all doing homeschool things, I'm always inspired and motivated because I'm looking 10, 15 years down thinking they're all going to be back in my home with their own kids and doing whatever, and just the relationship foundation always inspires and motivates me. Future relationships. That's kind of a different answer, but
yeah, no, I think it can go either way. I think we find a lot of inspiration in what the fruit of our labor is, what you're saying, in a lot of ways and stuff. And sometimes I look, I'm outsourcing inspiration because we're just having like a rough time here at home.
It happens
like that. So it goes both ways, definitely. So the next one was, are you a night owl or a early riser?
Oh, early riser without a doubt. Always.
Yeah. I would say I'm the opposite, or I'm a night owl, or have been. But through the years, just with homeschooling and schedules and different things, as your kids get older, your life's busier, I have made myself more of an early riser. I will say I'm a night owl in that I can stay up late if I drink coffee or do...
Yeah, I cannot fall asleep.
Yeah. Or if I mean, if I'm doing things, I can go. But I don't have a lot of motivation at night. I have more motivation in the morning. So I'm becoming an early riser.
I think we talked about, we may have just had a conversation. I don't know if it's YouTubed or just a conversation.
That's
like
funny.
when you work best, what time do you work best?
Well, definitely now, morning. Yeah.
Mine is like 6:30 to 7:30 a.m. It's like that's when I can get the best stuff done, and I'm always like twiddling my thumbs, like waiting for places to open.
Yeah.
Because like I'm very productive at that time.
I'm morning to early afternoon to some extent. I mean, my favorite time of day to do things or work out and stuff would be like 10 a.m. But that's like right in the middle of our homeschool
Not realistic.
day, so it's not happening. But you know, so. Along with that, as a mom, what is your favorite treat that you like to treat yourself with as a homeschool mom or mom?
Did you do like a food, or what did you write down?
Well, I think that was kind of the genre.
Okay.
What did you put? No.
Well, I did, because I thought that it was a multiple choice. I put coffee. Like if it's between coffee, tea, and chocolate, something like that. Like I don't need candy like that. I don't crave that typically. Mm-hmm. I always like coffee. Probably should drink less. I'm actually starting to learn to drink tea. It's kind of embarrassing, but sometimes I Google like tea recipes, like what do you put in this tea, to try to play with it.
Yeah, so. I've tried to do tea also, but it's not what I like want. You know, a good cup of coffee. I would say a treat for me is, you know, a latte or something like that. Now we both have our own like home espresso machines, so that's definitely the treat of choice these days. So, what was the next one? Do you prep and plan, or are you a go with the flow person?
Well, I would say prep and plan and go in the flow. That's like a weird answer. But at the beginning of the year, I'm like hardcore prep and plan. I'm writing everything down. I'm getting everything organized. I'm very intentional about what I'm choosing for each child. I way overthink it and spend way too much time preparing and planning. Mm-hmm. And I probably do the same thing in January after Christmas break. But once we get going and we're in a routine, I can go with the flow. Yeah. But I guess that would, like, by definition, that probably wouldn't be my style, because I try to be very intentional with like every subject and what everybody's doing and stuff like that. So I guess that would be prep plan.
Yeah, probably.
Right? Okay.
Yeah.
What about you?
Well, I'm definitely the go with the flow. Like I have those tendencies, I will say, like, I'll get inspired at the beginning of the year, and, you know, I will plan and prep things, but I always tend to just like whatever the day brings to some extent in some subjects. We have our basics that we just do every day, and that's just routine. The kids know, I know, and I guess you could say those are planned to some extent, but, you know, I tend to probably be like, as inspiration comes, I'll do projects or do things like this in a lot of ways. But I've learned that I have to prep and plan some things in order for them to happen. Yes. I've had more kids, and days are busier, and we just have so much other things going on. Then if I don't plan, it's not going to happen.
So would it count if I prep and plan at the beginning, but then like September I go with the flow, in October, but then in December it's another hardcore prep and plan, but then we, like, the day-to-day is go with the flow. Yeah. But like, I have found, like, if I don't gather my science supplies, we'll never do a science experiment. I have to gather those early. Yeah.
I just am not, like, I don't have that, like, prepper mentality. I have to make myself do it, you know. It's kind of one of those things.
Well, I do it and then it doesn't happen. So maybe it's better to be, like, I have great plans, but everything, like, sometimes derails. Yeah. Just kidding. Our homeschool is perfect and that never happens.
Oh, my goodness, yes.
No, right.
Okay. So the last question, I've lost it here. So I think
I know what it is. What do you do? What is something you like or do outside of being a homeschooler? Yeah. You're interested or passionate about?
Okay. Yeah.
You go first.
All right. Well, we both like to run, and I know that's what she's going to talk about.
It is.
Working out, different things. I won't elaborate on that. I love that too. I really do like to bake, and that is not so much cooking, baking. That's fun for me and kind of a decompress time. But now my kids want to help me all the time, and so I find it more of a time to spend time with my kids as much as a me time thing in this season of life. But I do enjoy doing that. And I'm a thrifter. I like thrifting and finding good deals.
I'm always
especially
jealous
books.
of the stuff she finds.
I love to thrift books.
I want to thrift like, I have the idea of thrifting, but I don't actually do it. Maybe I'm going to try this year. I'm going to try to find some deals.
That's so fun to me, but I don't do it as much as I used to now that, you know, we're just busier.
Maybe you should take me. But then we'll probably want the same book. So
maybe I already have it. I don't know.
Well, she's right. What I like outside of homeschool mom world is all things running and fitness. I mentioned earlier, like I went to be a basketball coach. My degree in college was exercise science and nutrition. I'm currently working on my master's in nutrition. I get up and run pretty much almost 5 to 6 mornings a week with my running partner, and we've done, marathons and races together. And actually, I don't know if I've told you, but I just got finally took the test to be running coach certified.
Yeah.
So now I'm running coach certified. Like if anybody needs a running coach, like can do that. And I actually coach cross country at our local high school. So I really like running, which I've said before, I like talking about running and homeschool. And so it's like I have 2 different groups of friends because there's not very many of those that converge together.
Yeah. So, well, it's a whole genre that we can just fill in the gap for here.
Yeah. If you like to talk about running, I can probably bore you to death.
Yeah. So I think that was the last of the questions. So I hope you all have got to know us a little bit better now, and just the people behind the camera, what we like to do even outside of just homeschool life, and things. So
we would love for you to subscribe. We always get super excited. Just subscribe to join our community and just go along this journey with us as we are getting into homeschooling high school kids while still balancing, trying to do the fun stuff with the little kids and balancing all the other things. So we love that. And we hang out on Instagram sometimes. So you can follow us over there.
Yeah, this is definitely where we're trying to put in more time, but we're there, and that's kind of more the day-to-day life stuff. So, all right. Well, thank you guys for joining us today, and we hope to see you here again soon. Bye, guys.